What's up guys, Big M here. I'm a former British paratrooper, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the Crucible, the 54-hour long final test as such the US Marine recruits have to do to finish training. I'm excited. If you are, please hit that like and subscribe and share this video with your buddies. It massively helps me out. I also stream on Twitch too, so I'll put the link in the description below. But without further ado, let's get into it.
This Marine Corps recruit isn't actually injured.
My leg! Up!
He's playing the role of a wounded Marine during a simulated casualty evacuation.
All of you draw faster now! Aye, sir!
And his fellow recruits have to drag him, inch by inch, to safety.
Casualty evacuations are tough, okay? So you think of trying to drag someone out with their body armor, their weapon, all their kit. It is extremely difficult, especially that, you know, in the heat of the moment as well. You've got you potentially got a contact, so you're in a firefight. You've got all these things going on around you, and you've got to drag someone out there, all that weight. It is difficult, it's cheeky, and it must be done in training. So this is what they're doing now.
It's not a comfortable thing to carry someone on your back and drag them through the mud. No! You sweat more in training, so you bleed less in combat.
I like that. I like that.
It's part of their final test at boot camp, known as the Crucible. A 54-hour event that all recruits must complete.
Fox, you're breaking down! Aye, sir!
Insiders spent 4 days at the Marine Corps Recruit Depot in Parris Island, South Carolina, to chronicle one company taking on the challenge, the last step before officially becoming Marines.
Okay, so this is like their test phase. I imagine it's going to be difficult. I imagine there's going to be things like sleep deprivation, long marches, maybe some one-on-one like milling equivalent stuff. Guys, if you've done this, let me know in the comments below your experience. I'm excited to find out more about it.
The Crucible occurs in week 11 of the Marine Corps' 13-week boot camp.
13 weeks long. I didn't realize it was that short. Okay, so week 11. This must be like, yeah, this is the final test. That late into the training.
The day before, recruits from the gender-integrated hotel company assemble in front of their barracks for a briefing. Although female recruits have trained at Parris Island since 1949, gender-integrated companies didn't emerge until 2019. As of January 2021, this group of recruits was the most gender-diverse company of enlisted recruits in the history of the Marine Corps. And among those in hotel company are a brother and sister from Georgia.
Have they got any like sights on these weapons? I can't see anything on these M4s.
21-year-old Lázaro Cisneros and his 19-year-old sister Myra.
My sister and me are here doing the Crucible together. We're in the same company. We usually don't see each other often, but we always get like a glimpse of each other.
It's actually motivating, just being able to see him be there. I know that there's somebody here that knows me. He's going through this with me. He knows the pain I'm going through.
At 0200, or 2 a.m., it's lights on in the squad bays of hotel company.
Hit it, gang. 02 in the morning. Woo, it's early. Again, they're going to be waking up. Well, I think they might have expected this, right? Maybe they've spoken with people before who've done the Marines. You know, the war stories have been told. So I think some of these will be expected to be waking up this early. But if you're not expecting it, then you're about to get a bit of a shock. So
Get on now! 1, 2, 3, 55! 56!
We had to rush, very stressful, thinking about how the day was going to go.
Recruits
seeing all this face mask stuff with obviously the virus, It's bizarre. Imagine going through training with a face mask on as well.
Don their desert utility uniforms, known as desert camis.
Fold the first sheet with you and your rack mate now.
They square away their racks and ready their gear, which weighs about 50 pounds. While some recruits may be smiling now, they won't be for long. After one final trip to the head, the recruits form up outside to officially begin the Crucible.
We all understand what that means, right? Yes, sir. You should probably scream a lot louder. Yes, sir.
Their first task, a long hike in the cold darkness.
Called it. I called it a long hike. Well, I said a long infill. So I thought this would be the case. This is going to be tough. Let's see how tough this is. Guys, girls, if you've done this, let me know in the comments below.
Yes, sir. Approximately 6 miles in length, so nothing too arduous for the beginning, but just enough that they understand, like, hey, you're on your own. We're not getting you bussed out there. You're going to walk out there just like you're going to walk back.
6 miles.
Morning, sir.
554, so everyone get a count for your own team.
When the sun comes up, the events of day one begin.
Corporal Dunham immediately alerted his fellow Marines to the threat.
Each Crucible event is inspired by an actual occurrence in Marine Corps history.
Corporal Dunham covered the grenade
I like
with his
that.
helmet and body.
And before the event begins, the squad leader educates the group on its historical significance.
He saved the lives of at least 2 fellow Marines. All gear should be on. You are facing forward. Line it up. 2 columns. Pick it up.
This group begins with an enhanced obstacle course.
I don't know why you're smiling when you're struggling with a simple obstacle.
Aye, sir.
Huh?
Get on the bar.
So the obstacle course is out there. They've seen it all before. It's just now we're adding a couple of more factors in there to make it more difficult.
Getting ammunition across.
Now they also need to safely transport 35-pound ammo cans across the course.
All right, got it.
When recruits
It's all well and good doing assault courses, you know, with like your comfortable like fitness attire and stuff. But when you got to do something with purpose, you got to move ammunition across it, or you know, you're in full kit. That's where it matters, right? That's where it matters, and that's why these guys doing this test now.
recruits fail to negotiate the obstacle,
15 burpees. Let's go.
their drill instructor orders them to do burpees,
9.
and they're punished as a group. Although this recruit was able to conquer the obstacle, her fellow recruits were not,
All of you get down 15 burpees. I'm in.
so she had to pay alongside them.
I don't got no good.
Go!
Go!
Grab onto the damn bar.
Hold the bar.
Wow, look, it's not that hard, correct?
I said. Yes, sir. See you, sir. I'm just gonna think about all good stuff right now. Fruit punch, Pepsi, Miami, Sunny.
Yeah, we got some sun, but no heat.
That's crazy.
Only 6 hours into the Crucible, and tensions are starting to flare.
Yeah, you're still doing the same thing.
Sir.
Yo, you want to freaking roll your eyes at me?
No, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
'Cause I literally just saw you do that.
No, sir.
So a lot of times they could get frustrated because they're cold, they're uncomfortable.
No, sir.
You got an attitude problem?
No, sir.
Execute the daggum training.
Aye, sir.
That's a very common thing that we see. Oftentimes the recruits just correct themselves though, because at this point, they already know what's right and what's wrong.
Fortunately, they'll soon have a chance to blow off steam.
Similar to like most units, especially like the British units, like the Parachute Regiment, the Marines, they're getting you psyched up. They're trying to eliminate that physical factor, that fitness factor already from the equation. They're starting to dig in now into the mental robustness testing. Okay, so they're eliminating, they're getting you essentially, they're getting you worn out before they progress you, because they want to see how good and how mentally robust you can be. I like that.
When they step inside a structure known as the Octagon.
Nice.
First, recruits fight each other with bugle sticks.
That'd be fun, that.
They're tired, they're hungry, and now we're pitting them against each other. At some point, you are going to be face to face with somebody through all these conditions, and you're still going to have to be aggressive enough to win.
Penalty box. Arthur, get out. Arthur!
The winner of the bout runs through a hatch below a sign that says Devil Dogs.
Winner, loser, get out.
The loser reports to the penalty box,
Embarrassing.
where they perform a series of planks and other exercises intended to motivate them to avoid returning there.
Get out, go away.
And they soon get a chance to redeem themselves. All recruits face off again in one-on-one body sparring.
Nice.
I think this is a way to just kind of keep them on their toes and keep them cognizant of
Milling,
their actions
essentially.
or the other person's actions.
Recruits are only allowed to strike the body, with no punches allowed above the neck. But stray punches do sometimes land,
All right, now I gotta throw all this gear away.
and injuries can occur.
All right, what company is this?
It's important.
Hotel company?
There's a saying in the Corps that every Marine is first and foremost a rifleman. Recruits spend 2 weeks devoted to marksmanship during boot camp.
Good to go?
During the Crucible, recruits combine the skills they've learned on the firing range with movement in a simulated squad attack.
All right, so first, it's gonna be cover and move.
I see.
All right? And then automatically you're going to movement under fire, all right? If people are shooting at you, you're automatically gonna go to the prone, right? You're not gonna give yourself that easy target, right?
Yes, sir.
The squads move together through a wooded area before they reach the entrance to the range.
So you're gonna stay tight to this tree line, you're gonna run to that black tree. Go. Go, 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 go.
Basically an advance to contact.
Recruits fire blank rounds during the event, which simulates providing cover for their fellow recruits while they advance.
You're gonna combat glide to that berm. Stay alive.
By now, these recruits have worked up an appetite.
Get those MREs down here.
Supposed to be Santa Fe rice and beans, but I literally don't taste the rice.
They're used to going to the chow hall, getting 3 square meals a day. Now they're going to be receiving essentially field rations, right? Our meals ready to eat MREs.
These are spicy. It's jalapeno. I know they're jalapeno.
Typically, a single MRE counts as 1 meal. For the Crucible, recruits have to ration 5 MREs over the course of the event.
Don't put a lot of water in it and mix it up just right. It's like pudding. It's the best pudding you will ever taste in your life.
Wow, that's a lie.
There are no naps during the Crucible. During breaks for chow, recruits are tasked with posting security. Over the course of the 54-hour event, recruits sleep only 3 to 4 hours a night.
Yes, sir.
Sleep deprivation's a massive thing. It'll start tapping into that mental robustness, testing your ability, seeing if you've got what it takes upstairs, you know?
And this is where it happens, in structures known as sea huts.
How tired are you right now?
For now, I have like good energy left to complete the day. I've been trying to ration my food and been trying to keep a steady mind. 3 more days before becoming Marine.
For Lazaro, his day comes to a close with one of the most intense events of the Crucible.
Let's go, you gotta save his life.
Aye, sir.
He's bleeding out and dying.
A simulated casualty evacuation in a combat scenario.
Aye,
It only
sir.
takes 40 seconds to bleed out. Listen to him.
Aye,
You're
sir.
freaking out. You're not making the right choices.
Aye, sir.
No choice is still a choice.
Aye,
You're just
sir.
standing there looking at me confused.
Aye,
He's
sir.
already bleeding out. You just helped him slow the bleeding.
Aye, sir.
You're being too slow.
Aye,
You're not
sir.
communicating.
No,
Where are
sir.
you even going? You came from this direction.
Aye, sir.
Fox, you're breaking down.
Aye, sir.
Now I know that if you ever need to help anybody, you can't even help. You can't do anything.
So this constant shouting, and you know, it looks hectic, but it will be hectic out in the battlefield. Okay, so if someone gets hit and you're doing a casualty evacuation, there may be explosions going off. There's all sorts of kinds of things going on. So all this shouting adds to the chaos, and it just gets that drilled into you. Because again, like, repetition makes something permanent. You know, so the more you do it, the more it gets instilled in you, the more it becomes an instinct. That's why they're doing it. That's why they're doing it. It does seem trivial to some people, but that's the reason behind it.
Aye, sir.
Because he's not okay, because half his leg just got blown off.
Aye, sir.
And he's got a tourniquet on, and he's scared, and he doesn't know what's happening. Your lives are in your hands, Fox.
You'll be all right, bud. We got you. Let's go. It's just theirs. Let's go.
I've been learning a lot lately. Combat training, combat care. This recruit noticed that he still has a lot to learn.
Meanwhile, Myra attempts to negotiate one of the most intimidating obstacles on Parris Island, the 30-foot-tall stairway to heaven,
Ready, step, together.
which all recruits must attempt without any safety equipment.
Ready, step, together.
I joined the Marine Corps with my older brother because of financial need. I was going to college, I needed the money, and the career I want to follow is pediatrician, so obviously I have to go to medical school for that. And I obviously thought, well, I need the money. And so I went to the recruiting station and I told them in the phone call, I have a brother, do you remember him? And they asked me to bring him over, so we went both together. They just convinced us and we joined.
It turns out that having a sibling in training at Parris Island isn't that uncommon. We met another pair of siblings in hotel company.
The relationship has grown stronger because at home we kind of just separated. We only played Xbox together from across the hall.
Until we came here. We knew each other, but we didn't really like talk every single day like we have been for the past 3 months.
It's a pretty great feeling because whenever you think that you can't like turn to someone, you can always just turn to your actual blood brother.
They're in the rear, right? Yes, ma'am.
Tonight I'm going to basically pray a little bit for strength.
As the sun sets on day one of the Crucible, these recruits are in for a long night and an even longer day ahead.
Hour 29 into day 2. Let's go.
Simulated casualties play a big part in one of the most challenging Crucible events. The Battle of Hue City, named after one of the bloodiest battles of Vietnam, where an estimated 10,000 people died, including more than 100 Marines.
Vietnam would have been horrific. You saw the signs there on the training establishment where beware for booby traps. I can't comprehend how difficult that would have been in Vietnam. I also love how this Crucible has, like, every event, every like tasking has a story behind it relative to the US Marine Corps history. I like that. That's good.
Loudspeakers play sounds of gunfire and explosions to create a more realistic combat environment, along with simulated mortar explosions that occur when a spark plug ignites a combination of propane and oxygen, triggered by the push of this button. The goal of the event is for each fire team to maneuver across the area with all casualties and gear intact.
Hey, squad leader. Aye, sir. Yeah, he just got shot in the right shoulder. Please turn around. Aye, sir.
Drill instructors designate recruits as casualties if they fail to conceal themselves during their approach. It's the responsibility of the still healthy recruits to transport the casualties. Recruits must climb over walls, crawl through sand,
Get him to the wire now.
and barbed wire.
going back to the designating the casualties, by doing that, by getting the other recruits to think how to move across the terrain, how to stay concealed as best as possible, how to remain a hard target for the enemy. That guy there, he's got shot in the arm. He got shot in the arm. That was his punishment for obviously not moving through the terrain as safe as he could be. So, I like that.
Get the casualty.
He's bleeding out.
All while slowly moving the casualties.
I need assistance out.
Embrace the suck couldn't have been more true here. Once you embrace the suck and you look to your left and your right and you see the guys next to you doing it, it just makes you want to push even harder.
That's true.
And some of them will crack a smile and then you'll crack a smile. And it just keeps you going, sir.
McDonald! Hi, sir! He's bleeding out! Hi, sir!
Recruits who stay healthy and who don't have to tend to casualties are free to negotiate the course, as long as they don't do anything that catches their drill instructor's attention. The event gets even more grueling in the rain, which is where we found Myra and her squad. Thanks to a passing storm, what began as dirt quickly turned to mud.
My hip is starting to hurt, and I had trouble keeping the weapon off the sand, so it was really hard this morning.
Gotta keep that weapon
into
clean.
The woods
Jumping! Jump away!
to navigate a series of obstacles as a team, which in the rain made things trickier for Lazaro and his squad.
It has been very exciting pushing through since like the beginning of boot camp to the end. And happy to be here with my sister, having a once-in-a-lifetime moment.
I've seen a lot of improvement in myself. I try to work on myself more than just physical.
Recruits are invited to share their personal stories in sessions called Core Values.
I've been pushing myself as much as I can, everywhere I can. And while I had the smarts for college, I never had the motivation. But somehow the Marines is the one thing I always had motivation for.
You know that one thing that everybody says that helps push them through? That's my mom, and that's my dad. He passed away 2 years ago, and it's been hard on her. So it's kind of hitting home that I'm here. So I can't wait to call her and be like, yo, Mom, finally did it.
I feel like I found a part of myself that I didn't have before, and I never really fit in anywhere else.
As day 2 winds down, all that stands between these recruits and officially becoming Marines is a 9-mile hike back to the parade deck.
Nice.
For Hotel Company, the Crucible has come to an end. But one last step remains. Each recruit receives their Eagle, Globe, and Anchor emblem, symbolizing that they have officially become United States Marines.
No doubt a very proud moment. Any US Marines in the chat, let me know how it felt to be there right then.
For the recruits, it's what they've been battling for these past 12 weeks, and a lot of times it's what they've wanted ever since they were a child. It is absolutely amazing to see these men and women who have fought so hard for what they want and to finally see them achieving it.
We started this together. We were going to end this together.
What did that feel like when you put that in your hand?
It felt like hope, a new future for our family.
Nice.
Are you proud of her?
Yes, she has accomplished, maybe surpassed me. I'm her older brother, so I see she has grown to become a very strong woman and Marine.
Are you guys hungry?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
How excited are you for this breakfast?
Oh, very, sir. Very excited.
While the Eagle Globe and Anchor ceremony is the most anticipated moment of boot camp, the Warriors' breakfast may be a close second.
They're so happy to be indoors at that point, and they get steak and eggs. To them, it's probably the closest thing to a home-cooked meal they could get while they're here. They're incredible.
I bet that first meal since the Crucible was absolutely delicious, even though it doesn't look like much here. But I bet you these new Marines are very, very happy to have this food.
Incredibly happy.
Nice. The Crucible, the US Marine final test. If you've done it, let me know in the comments. Let me know your experiences. I hope I've done it a bit of justice. But yeah, overall, it seems like a tough couple of days. A lot of sleep deprivation, a lot of casualty evacuation stuff, you know, very difficult things. But yeah, that was the first time I've ever heard of the Crucible. I'm impressed. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe and share it around. But until next time, see you later.